Well, I think I'll have to be honest with you on one most important thing. Western Equatoria has never registered any kind of leadership like the leadership we had for the Right Honorable Gemma Nkumba when she was governor of the state. She did a lot of tremendous work. That is one thing that we have to register, and I acknowledge that. But over the years, of course, yes, we have had leaders who have done their part. No leader could come to power without doing anything. But the issue is people are not, leadership is all about, leadership people driven. You need to identify the core issues. You need to identify the core issues your people are facing. That is the most essential thing. When you come to power, first of all, before managing people, you need to identify what kind of resources you have. Every community has their specific resources that God granted for them in order to take them, in order to provide a better state of life for them. That is one thing that people have to know properly. Now, have we identified the kind of resources we have? Have we utilized them in the rightful way? How do we, these are questions that we, over the years, I think since Jemanunu left, we have never answered. And are the communities tied to each other? Or there's an element of a very segregative tendency? Or there's an element of Filan is coming from Tombra, Filan is coming from Izo, Filan is coming from Yambio, from Maridi, from Mundri. These are core issues that we need to start talking about from time to time as we get on to 2024. And now, what set of leaders do our people look at? What are we looking at? Having the experience of all the past years, are we going to project ourselves the same way? Or there must be a balance between the old and the young? That's a very important area that we need to start now getting engaged to and start discussing. We have to be very, very realistic to ourselves. Now, when we talk of resources, we are so abundant of resources. We have the land, a very vast land that is untouched. You see, I think from creation the land has never been touched. Very fertile. When we prepare ourselves, we could perhaps even feed the entire country. So here we need a focus. Once there's no focus and there's no direction from the leadership, honestly, don't expect the right to be done. Agriculture, if for instance now today, if I'm to talk of let's say Western Equatoria in general, I will say we not have more than even 5 farmers cooperative unions. We need to work hand in hand with the farmers cooperative unions. We need to work hand in hand with the trade unions. That is very essential, very, very crucial for our progress, for our development, the way forward. Now, that is number one, agriculture. That is one of the most biggest resources we have. Number 2 is the mining sector. It is very clear by the surveys that have been done over the years that we lie along the Equatorial Belt. And along the Equatorial Belt, starting from Capoeira, coming across, all from across Ye, coming to the side of Western Equatoria to Western Baragazal, there's a big chunk of minerals along these areas. Has there been any discussion on this? Honestly speaking, we might not have the resources at hand. We might not have the equipment to take these resources to the next level or to the finished products. What are we thinking about it? Are we asking ourselves, okay, well, how do we go about this? Can the leadership maybe perhaps talk to IMF? Can they talk to the major corporations in the world? We might have corporations in the US, in the EU. We have corporations in Asia. Can they invest? And we go in for equal shares, or sometimes we go for 60, they go for 40. And when they get employed, when we get these corporations, the advantage again we get is employing our people. This improves their wages. This improves their lifestyle. Now that's where we were supposed to be thinking at the moment. But the issue we have is I think things are not well connected. Now we need to start making things well connected. All issues we have pertaining us, pertaining our land, pertaining our resources, we all need to be accountable. And it's very important for the people, for instance, our people back home and people who are not home, to know that each of us is a leader. The moment people are not informed that they are leaders, they are not informed of their core roles, of their responsibility in the country, and then that is why we fall short of progress. Because now, for instance, get an instance. You find someone is cutting all the trees he has, all the ticks that his grandparents had been keeping for him, had planted for him, and this he's supposed to take care of those ticks. But unfortunately, what happens is he cuts the ticks off, he sells it to the foreign corporations, like the Indian companies that goes back home. Once that is done, no replanting, no reforestation. Now, when we talk of people-centered leadership, people-centered leadership is the leadership of the people, where everyone feels accountable, everyone feels part of the process. Now, if you look at progress, if you look at what has been done in the past, a lot of things have been centered, let's say, in Yambio. That is the capital. Not even much has been centered in Yambio. When you talk of states, you talk of counties, as far as Mvolo, you talk of Mundri, you talk of Maridi, you talk of Tombra, you talk of even if you go as far as areas in Tombra like Sarsibu, you go to Najero, less has been done. And you find out that Yambio is more brighter as compared to some parts of some parts of the counties in the state. That is a very big problem, and that's why we need to look into that. All these places are given abundant. God has blessed us with abundant wealth, abundant resources. But where we focus is the problem. We need a very focused system. We need a system that is able a system with a sense of direction, that is able to tell the people, yes, our people, this is where we're supposed to go, this is where we're supposed to go. You don't jump over and start from the big, you start small. This is the bottom-up approach. You start small, go forward. But people have to know exactly what they're supposed to do. If our people do not know what they're supposed to do, then this is why we're going to fail. We might spend years over years and nothing will have happened. So now, the issue here is where do we go? Where are we today? Are we in the right form or we're not in the right form? If we're not in the right form, where are we supposed to go? What are we supposed to do? Those in power then have to know that we have a lot to do. We have to work as a team. We can never succeed if we don't join our hands together and ensure that we move forward together with our people. That is very, very important. We need to see into that. We have farmers' cooperative unions. One important aspect of a leader is learn to be the person in the front seat. Learn how to do it, and the people will learn it from you. You find yourself as a leader today, you are focusing on subsistence kind of farming, and then people are going to focus majorly on subsistence kind of farming. Subsistence is a kind of farming that is from the garden to your mouth, and the family survives on that. Nothing growth. The families who are even practicing subsistence farming cannot even send their kids to school. They cannot even afford the affordable health care system. There's even no affordable health care system, first of all. You see, everyone has to stand accountable. The government has to stand accountable on their side, especially the state governor. He has to stand accountable on his side because the government is his. Now, again, here when you come to the low levels, when you come, for instance, to county has to stand accountable. The county, these people has to stand accountable. If you come to Payam, the Payam has to stand accountable. You go to the Bomas have to stand accountable. Everyone has to be a leader in this process. When we see ourselves as leaders in the whole process, and our people are told that you are leaders in your specific positions, in your specific designations, you see, then nothing will go wrong. I'm telling you, nothing completely will go wrong. We don't need to just sit there and say, hey, a lot is not going in the state. The national government is not doing a lot for us. Assume today you are married. Assume today you are married. You have your wife. You have your home. Are you going to be shouting in your home all the time to your wife that your father is not sending money for your feeding in the house? It's not possible. If you have plans, if you have programs, present them to your father. And your father in this case is the national government. Present your programs to them. Tell them what you intend to achieve. Drive change. And strive for excellence. That is the most important thing. So now, in this case, if you focus more on blaming, the national government is not doing this. The national government is not doing this. Nothing's going to work. Well, as you all know, 2024, we are all going for the South Sudan general election. The general national election. So it is high time we start preparing ourselves. You need to ensure that you get your national ID. Number 2, you need to get your SPLM card. That is very important. Be part of the process, and let's get on this together. It is very important you know that this time you need to elect leaders who are program focused. Track your leaders from their history. Track the history of their leaders. That is very, very important. Know what your leaders have done in the past, and know if this set of leaders are able to do something. We are not saying you need to abandon the old. We are not saying you need to adopt the new. But the fact is, try to adopt a group of people who are able to drive the state forward. We are here. It's very important. It's very important to tell you that our people should be able to know who are going to be the next drivers and select the right set of people. We do not want to hear complaints in the next 5 years again that nothing has been done, this hasn't been done, corruption is rampant. Try to get in people who will be able to work for you and for the betterment of your own families and the country. That is very important. By this I say, register for the SPLM party, support the SPLM party, and please, the country goes forward. There are good set of leaders in the SPLM party. Do not be worried that, oh, you have had the worst in the past and what. Here we're talking of persons. Now it's right time for you to choose the right persons. This is all I can tell you as your elder brother. That is where we need to prepare ourselves now. Those not in the country, please prepare a way how you can get to the country. And let's have everything. That is very, very crucial for us. Our land belongs to us. We need to love ourselves. This element of these segregative tendencies of I come from Yambio, I come from Tombura, I come from Izo, I come from Mundri, I come from Maridi. This is the time to give a stop to it. Most of us have worked as leaders in the past, and you have seen our track records. You know what we are able to offer. You know that that we do not segregate. We take our people as same. You see, we treat people as people. We do not treat people in the lines of this is a tribe, this tribe, this tribe, this tribe, this tribe, this tribe. So it has to be a very holistic process, and we all need to be standing accountable into this process. Thank you very much.